Hi everyone, welcome to the Zen Studio. I'm Brett Music Builds. Today we're going to be starting the most anticipated build of 2025 for almost everybody. We're going to be doing the 1989 Batmobile. This is definitely one of the builds that's been really anticipated for a long time. I do have a QR code down on this end of the screen so you can scan it and get this for yourself. This is definitely going to be a lot of fun to build. Let's go ahead and we'll show you the brochure and I'll show you how to get your magazines. Normally, Fanhome do include the brochure in Pack 1, but they didn't in this one. It might come in Pack 2 because they did that with my Enterprise D. So if it does come in Pack 2, I'll show it to you again. But just to show you how to get to it, this is the Fanhome website. If you click on DC, you'll find the 1989 Batmobile here, which brings you to the website. We'll scroll down. And preview the collector's guide here. You're going to click download on that. And it'll bring up the PDF of the collection guide. So this is going to be a 1/8 scale vehicle. You can see it's from Fanhome, D'Agostini. Both of these are the same company. It has a front turbine, side wings, dashboards, jet engine. It's going to be 75 centimeters or 30 inches long. So this is going to be just slightly shorter than the Ecto one when it's finished. All about Tim Burton's Batman, so this gives you an idea of what's going to be in your magazines. About the movies, the universe, the comics, and it does have your assembly guide. Subscription gifts as of right now. We have the posters, the mugs, the metal plate, the t-shirt, and the 1/43 scale miniature. These are pretty much standard gifts for what we get in these part works as of the moment. You can go premium, so for an extra charge per delivery, starting with pack 3, I believe. You can get this uplit display case, which is going to look fantastic in the case when it's done if you have the room to display that. And then the brochure will also fold out into this poster. So that's the brochure. For the magazines, if you're in the US, we don't get the physical magazines. We get the digital editions only. So this is my dashboard. If you click over to assembly guides, it has all of them here. As you can see, I have the 1989 Batmobile, the Supra, the 66 Batmobile, and the Enterprise. These four are my active ones right now. Click view, and you can either view it like this and change the page, or you can download it and it'll bring it up just like the brochure did, and you can get your magazines from there. You can print them, save them, however you care to do it. If you don't get the physical magazine, like we in the US get the digital editions only. Alright, so there's a bit of an introduction into how you can access your assembly guides and the build brochure for this 1989 Batmobile, and where you can get it for yourself. I think all that's left is to get down to the workbench, and let's go ahead and get started on this. So we have the box here. We're going to crack it open in a minute. But first of all, you're going to need some tools. Everything that you need to get started on the model is going to be in this box here. So we're going to crack it open and take a look. But these are some of the tools that I really find that you're going to need. Get yourself a good screwdriver. This is a Wera PH0 screwdriver. This will be good for most of the screws in the build, and these Wera ones last a really long time. Well, this one is just now starting to wear out, and I used it for the DeLorean build, and everyone after that. So this is just now starting to wear out, and I need to get a new one soon, but these last for forever. Also get yourself a PH1. These are going to be invaluable for metal screws. They just give you a lot of extra torque, and they're a little bit bigger. Not all screws will fit into the PH1, which is why you need the PH0. But I have found that a lot of times the PH1 is my screwdriver of choice. A good hobby knife is always a good idea for something to have in your workbench. It's good for opening packs, and we'll use it to open box. A good set of tweezers is always coming in handy on my workbench because a lot of times you're installing HT leads and engine piping and things you need to get into tight places. I found these rounded-ended ones are working the best for me at this particular time, but I do have multiple sets, multiple different configurations. Typically on Partworks you don't use a lot of glue, but I do recommend getting some super glue. In the United States, this is my preferred. It's the Loctite standard super glue. I wish we had a brush-on version of this, but we don't. Gorilla Glue does do a brush-on, but it's a gel, and I think it's too thick. I don't really care for it, but use whatever works best for you. And the last thing that has changed the world of Partworks, no it is not Olay face lotion, is oil, 3-in-1 oil. I need to fill this up, so I'll do it before we get going. I like putting it in here because it pools just perfectly at the bottom to dip the screws in. Your metal screws do have to cut the paint, and putting oil on them will make your job a whole lot easier, along with that PH1 screwdriver. And the time has come. Let's get this open. So we have parts wrapped in plastic, and then we have foam parts. The foam parts, I'm guessing, are the die-cast parts. And that's all that's in the box. And we'll get these plastic parts open first, using my handy bat knife. These open. And we have the parts for the turbine. Our screws, we have B, D, and A. We have some belts. And we have C screws as well. That's what we had in there. And we're going to take a look at these metal parts. Put a towel down. Don't worry, all this paint is dry. Here's the screwdriver. It looks to be a PH0 or a PH1, but you're going to want to get your own, trust me. Check that out. That's the center of the turbine. All metal, really heavy. and our two sides. Let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, we switch to a blue towel. So the first things we're going to need is this middle turbine section, as well as the two sides. The paintwork's immaculate. It's nice matte black. This is going to look awesome alongside the tumbler with this stealth bodywork because it is contained on the tumbler as well. We need to turn this over. Put these together like this. Just like that. And then we're going to be putting 8 screws in these 4 holes right here. Grab those 8 screws, open them up, and this is where my PH1 screwdriver is going to come in really handy. Just dab that in a little bit of oil. We'll let the screw do the work. And bring the side panel up and locking it into place. So 2 on this side, we're going to do 2 on the other side. And there we are. Those are all secured together. We're not done yet though, because these are going to want to spring out on this side. So we need to secure them in with a couple of type C screws. Which are these right here. You will find that most of the time, they give you 1 spare screw of each type. This down. Here to click into place. Make sure that's really tight. And we'll do the other one. There we go. There we go. He's biting now. There we are. That's the front section of the turbine. We can put this to one side for now. We're going to grab this piece. Like this. And we have 3 sets of holes in here. So we need these pulleys. Get these out. And put it this way around. We have 1 going here. 1 going there. And we're going to be holding them in place with B screws. For these flanged ones. Still sticking with my PH1 screwdriver for now. Put these in. And unlike metal screws, these ones don't need to be ultra tight because you want this pulley to spin around. So we'll go ahead and we'll get these in. It's easier said than done because when you're driving a screw in here, they really want to turn on their own, so you kind of have to hold them in really tight. So the screw goes all the way in, because you don't want them to be loose and falling out. And there we are. Those two pulleys are in place. Now we're going to take the center one, put it down the middle, just like that. We're going to grab these belts. When they're not tied together like mine are. Put one. Grab the center one first. This is where your tweezers are going to come in handy. Alright, there we go. Not the easiest thing to do, but they're in, just like they're supposed to do. Turn like they're supposed to. Excellent. And put that to the side for now. Okay. These two pieces. That goes together like that. Painted in a nice gunmetal color. And we're holding that in with D screws. That's what we need. These are the D screws. They're the only pack I haven't opened yet. I guess it's just one D screw. Alright. Looks just like that. And then we have these fins. Now there's two in one bag and one that's separate. So the two are going to go on the bottom side of this turbine nose. And they're pushed to fit. Just like that. And then the other one, if you can get it out of the bag. It's going in on the top. Like that. And then this whole housing, we're going to take the turbine fan, so it slips in, turns just like that. And these going to drop in. Alright, if you saw, my belts came out and I had to redo them. But this is now in place. And we need to secure that with the D screws. Three D screws. Put them in here. There's the last one. So these three holes, 1, 2, 3. And then we need to put this whole housing onto this part that we created at the beginning. It's going to go in just like that. Slips into place. A screws again. A little bit of oil. I've done all metal parts. Just need a little pushing to get into position. Okay, and that's secure and in place. That's what it looks like. Very iconic. And a great way to start the 1989 Batmobile. Let me get my oil prints off of this because I knew that was going to happen. There we go. Stage 1 of the 1989 Batmobile is finished. Alright, what a cool way to start the 1989 Batmobile, huh? We have this entire front nose section, which is really, really cool. I really like how that looks. We've got stage 2 coming up shortly, and we're going to do the left rear wheel. I can't wait to do that. We'll see you next time here on Zen Studio.